Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're all having a lovely evening. It's Wednesday evening here. It's 10:20. Oh, I'm knocking the stick. Right, now there's loads of things I want to talk to you about tonight. I haven't been making videos because Graham had a friend who came out to stay, and I'll come to that as well. But so much has happened with Meghan, hasn't it? So I'm going to talk about Meghan, my theories, my thoughts, and my opinions. And I'm sure that a lot of you will probably have the same opinion, but also a lot of you will have very different theories. And that's great. We can compare notes afterwards. But also, at the end of this video, I'm going to stick on, we actually caught a ghost on film, on one of Graham's videos. I'm not kidding. We'll talk about that in a minute, and then I'll stick the video on the end on double speed so you can see for yourselves what's going on there. Right, let's start with Meghan. So the last video that I put up was that little video clip that somebody sent me in a private message. And as soon as I saw it, I just thought, this has got to go out there. It's just got to go out there. And everybody needs to see it. So I will put a link to that previous video in case you haven't seen it. But I think most of you have seen it, because I think it's been viewed about 60,000 times now. So I'm thinking majority of you have seen that, of Meghan basically getting caught looking at Harry as if she wants to kill him. And then she notices someone's filming her, but she can't resist her hatred for Harry. And then she thinks better of it, gets a grip of herself, and does this crazy thing, right? For me, that's it's not quite as good as if a member of Buckingham Palace staff released a video of her shouting and screaming at a member of staff. But it's getting there, isn't it? It's well on the way. And what really, really surprised me, you lovely guys, in the comments, I know and understand and share your frustration with Harry over the years, because he's enabled her. He's made a bed of nails for himself. And for a long time, a lot of us have said, no sympathy. Well, I was really stunned to see how lovely you all were, that having seen that video, you were like, oh my God, I'm fearful for him. A lot of you said, I can now see he is in an abusive relationship and has been for a long time. I mean, he's done very bad things to his family. Very bad things to the Markle family by, not agreeing, not even trying to meet her father. Not even attempting to. But to his own family, I mean, books, interviews, saying terrible things about his grandparents as they were coming to the end of their lives. I mean, he's got a lot to live with, right? Let's put it that way. But I want to focus on her, and I want to talk about that video to start with. She clearly hates him. Can you imagine living with someone like that? You would walk on eggshells. You would be so tense all of the time. I mean, if it was me, I'd probably be smoking weed all the time just to try and block it out, or I'd be using some kind of substance. So I'm kind of sympathetic with him to a point there. And now she's left. She's left Canada. She's gone back to Montecito early. Well, this is my theory. I think she was thrown out. I think he and the Invictus people who run it said, get lost. You're not wanted. I'm not going to play kissy, kissy, huggy, huggy with you. I'm sick of this. And she's gone back, because I just can't believe that she would pass up the opportunity to stay there and have lots of different outfits and make a big exhibition of herself, especially with Valentine's Day being part of it, because they're so in love. And this nonsense. I mean, I read one article, so I don't know if there are other articles, but the one I read was in GOTV, which basically said she'd returned to Montecito to be with the children. Well, what a pathetic excuse that is. I'm sorry. But at the start, I don't understand why they didn't take the children with them. Kids of that age would love something like the Invictus Games. They would love it. And surely, as it's part of Harry's fabric, he keeps saying he founded it, even though everybody knows he didn't. But it's the last gig he's got left, isn't it? So he's making a big song and dance out of it. Well, then you would think he's already including his wife. He would include his children. I mean, this is what people do. Graham was the first one to get a job at the Dolphin Safari. Then I got a job there. And as the children grew up, because they grew up around it and they were always on the dolphin boat round the office, eventually they got jobs there. That's what families do. There's a yacht school next door to Dolphin Safari. The people who own that, their children took over and their children will take over after them. They've already got jobs there because that's what happens. But not with Harry. No. Oh, no. Oh, my God, no. So then let's say she's really missing the children, because this is the excuse, she's gone back to be with the children. Why not get the nanny to fly them out? Why would she have to leave? So it's just bollocks from start to finish, as far as I'm concerned. Now, I know that I have heard theories that some people think she's left because she's been told she's not going to be the centre of attention. No, this woman's not thinking straight. She doesn't think like us. She's a sort of an obsessive nutter of a different nature. And she just wouldn't think like that. She's been thrown out. She's been told to get knotted. I bet there were screaming tantrums behind the scenes over that. I bet you there were. I do not believe it was her choice to leave Canada. I really don't. And I also, having seen the photographs, the many photographs of her going, "We're so in love," and Harry like this, oh God, or a face, grim face. Despite him pretending to play happy clappy, the thing with Harry is he is a lot like his mother in this respect. He shows his face. He's not one of these people who can hide their emotions. He's very much heart on sleeve type person like Diana. I mean, we could always tell if Diana was bored, if Diana was giggling, if Diana was having a good time, if Diana, didn't like something. She's a very expressive face, and Harry is no different. And he tries to be like his crazy wife and do this rictus grin thing, but of course it slips, doesn't it? It's hard to keep it up all the time, and that's when they get the picture. I also see Tom Bower being attacked by Sussex squad that are at the Invictus Games. That's disgraceful. I didn't realise until tonight that he's 78 years old. Someone phoned me up, told me that tonight. I really did, because he doesn't look it. But what a disgraceful way, and it does make me wonder about those two women of colour that were outside our house a few weeks ago with the attempted home invasion. It really does make me think, because there will be Sussex squad all over the world. There will be Sussex squad here in Spain. They'll be in France. They'll be everywhere. And I think, make a phone call. Whoever made that call, I really do. And the way they sauntered past, the more and more I watch those videos and think about it, the more I think they were Sussex squad, especially listening to the way that they spoke to Tom Bower. I mean, who are these little dictators that they can tell Tom where he can and can't go? You're not allowed here. Harry and Meghan are here. You're not allowed. I mean, what in the holy hell? Who do they think they are? Have you noticed that with a lot of the squad? They are really dictatorial, and they demand, I demand an apology. I demand you do this. I demand you do that. You're not allowed to do that. Oh my God. They will be her ultimate downfall. I'm certain of that one. So we've got this dynamic going on. To me, it's never been clearer that they do not like each other. I watched Lady C tonight. Oh, she's got a good video. Go watch it, because she's got the tea. People have been talking to her. And basically, we're all on the money and have been for a long time. They're not together. They're split up. They can't stand each other. And I think it's only a matter of time before rumours of, or not just rumours, an announcement of an official separation. But I suppose he's just backed into a corner because he's thinking, well, how the hell am I going to get out of this? Well, a lot of people have always said he won't dump her or divorce her until she leaves him. That's not how it works with Windsors. Windsors are different. They're not normal families. They are a family, but they are also part of the monarchy and the institution, and things are different for them. No, it's always the Windsor. It is always the Windsor that does the dumping. Trust me. And Harry will be no exception. I think for a long time, Harry has probably harked back to the carefree days of sitting in his bedroom, playing PlayStation, being waited on hand and foot, not having to worry about bills, where money's coming from, security, lawsuits. He could just shag girls, do what he liked. I bet that he is harking back to that. And if you go back to that video of her like snarling at him, well, I'm sure that the novelty of being married to her wore off a long time ago. What Windsor's got to do is find his balls and just stand up and say, we're separated. You know, that's it, we're separated. People are going to talk about their marriage whether they announce it or not, because it's becoming more and more obvious. I remember there were very few of us a few years back sort of saying it'll be Harry that will end it and the novelty will wear off. And a lot of people thought, no, it was obvious. And now more and more people are coming on board, and more people can see clearly that he is fed up with her. And now she's love bombing. I'm in love with you. I'm going to love bomb. But as Lady C explained, and she has had insiders tell her, the shine has very much worn off. And old Megsy's tricks like that are not working, not even on Windsor. And there's this new book coming out that is accusing him of being thick as mince again. Like it would take him 2 weeks to put his own trousers on if he didn't have staff to help him. Like the Blackadder guy. Even Windsor has figured this one out. So I'm really waiting for an announcement of some sort. A lot of you guys had already said you felt it would be after Invictus. I do believe H.G. Tudor said February after Invictus. I think that's what he said. So, I mean, yes. And then her Netflix and her American Riviera and her jam and stuff. So Netflix are going to open stores and sell her jam there. And if it's not a success, then it's curtains, is it, Meghan? It's history, Meghan. Why don't these people just sack her now and save themselves a whole bunch of money and humiliation? Because it's not going to work. I mean, well, okay, they really want to do that. Put her jam on the shelves and watch it just not get bought. And let the journos come in and take pictures of the jars and jars and rows of Meghan's jam and olive oil. Yeah, do that. See if you can make it even more humiliating for Netflix and for Meghan, because it's never going to work. My God, I just, these people, cool, fake it till you make it. And I mean, you can't criticise them for trying. Everyone loves a trier, but it is time they gave it up. The massive thing is that video that I was sent the other night and the fact that she's left Canada, those things should speak volumes to everybody. Right, now I'm going to come to our ghost. So Graham and I made a video on the sofa over there the other day. And the next day, our daughter phoned up and said, who was moving the camera? And we both said, nobody. It was just us. It was on a selfie stick, like you're watching me here now. It's on a selfie stick. Now, if I kick this with my foot, you will see what the camera looks like. Can you see that? I'll try it a bit more gently. I'll wait for it to stop wobbling. Stop wobbling. Stop. I'm going to move it just a tiny bit more. What I'm going to try and do is make the whole thing go round. Can you see the wobble? Right. So I'll stick this part of the video on double speed at the end of this video so you can all watch. And where Graham and I are sitting, in fact, I'll move over there and make it a little bit easier for you to understand what I'm saying. And we've never, ever had this before. So we were sitting here and the camera angle was, and the selfie stick was on the coffee table, right? So I was here, Graham's there. So when you watch it and the camera, I can do it with my hands, but I mean, you can see us animated with our hands in the video. The camera kept moving little bits like that until it could see those pokers and part of the fireplace. And neither of us touched the camera. And it gave me goosebumps. It really did. So I have no explanation. And Graham's watched it. And I mean, he's been a cameraman for years. And he's watched it and watched it and watched it. And he said, I have no explanation for that. Our phones don't have the ability to like pan round. It's not a feature. It's not a thing. And you can actually, when you watch it, I'll try and simulate it. It kind of does it in, but it doesn't wobble like that just did. I mean, it's wobbling even with my hand. It doesn't wobble. Anyway, so I'll put that on at the end. I've never ever caught anything like this on video before, so that was really strange, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on that, as well as Meghan and Harry and imminent divorces. And as Lady C says, don't be impatient for it to happen, because we've all waited for a long time. Enjoy it, savour it, taste the flavour, because she deserves everything that's coming to her, as far as I'm concerned. Thank you all very much for listening.